Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again to a brand new episode of your favorite talk show, Bahrain, with me, Lara Semaan, as we bring you the kingdom's latest topics and initiatives, as well as showcase local talents and more. All happening right here on Bahrain Now, right after this break, so don't go away. Bahrain This Month, the very first English monthly magazine in Bahrain that features a comprehensive guide to events and happenings in the kingdom. Have you guessed who our next guest is? F Middleton, founder of Bahrain This Month. Such a pleasure to have you with us in the studio today.
Lara, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
Welcome to our studio. So tell us about yourself and about your journey first.
Well, journey in Bahrain started about 42 years ago in 1979 when I first came to an island without even one highway.
And now we have a million.
Exactly, it was fantastic. No, Bahrain I first visited in 1977. My brother was working out here for a company called British Airways, and he obviously needed cheap labour when he went into his own business.
Of course.
So I was the cheap labour that was brought in to...
That he brought you in to help him?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So tell us, it's true that you started the first English language monthly magazine in Bahrain back in September 1997. So
That's
in
correct.
those days, media was mostly print and on satellite broadcasts. With the general decline of print worldwide, what have you done to maintain your magazine right now?
Well, actually, content generation is the key to any successful media, whatever it was. And to do effective content in a magazine is much more difficult than it is to do online.
Of course.
So we've used our skills and experience from that side to basically migrate to the digital element. And we're now very strong in digital media, digital proliferation. We actually offer also consultancy services for companies that might be interested in the new technologies involved in advertising, which includes programmatic and interactive videos, personalized videos. So we're into the high echelons of the technology aspect of media nowadays.
Okay, so you've moved now from print almost to complete.
Yeah, we still have print because we love it so much, but print is maybe 5% of our business. We're mostly digital.
Digital.
And online.
Okay, so now Bahrain This Month is all, like mostly online now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's having said that, we printed in July. We'll be printing again, I think, in October. But
how do you feel about that? Since it's been print all these years, and now like you've seen the change over the years going and going.
Yeah, I mean, it's an evolution. I mean, never look back and always look
forward
to
to
positive
the future.
aspects.
Yeah.
And again, the new technologies which are available really make, I mean, in the late 70s when I got involved with the new technology of desktop publishing, before it was hot metal press, which was where people used to bang letters into those and have it printed out on a newspaper. So the new technology enabled us to get involved with desktop publishing. That was a very exciting technology, and that enabled us to be able to do things which we wouldn't have been able to do if that technology hadn't been there. Carrying on now into the latest project we're involved with is interactive, engaging digital video, which is personalized based on the information taken from the client's computer through an algorithm. It makes it a personalized message.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
it's that sort of thing. It's almost like watching an episode of Black Mirror and being amazed
wow.
by the new
That's
technologies.
amazing. And what would you say people's feedback were like? What was people's feedback from moving from printing to the Bahrain This Month going into online?
I think people are very guarded. The trouble with online is that everybody thinks it should be for free.
That's
and
true.
in order to actually provide a quality service and to be able to compensate the people who do excellent jobs, are so creative and experienced, you need to have that capability of being able to support them through being able to pay them properly, etc. And it's a double-edged sword. I mean, it's much easier to have online media now than ever before because anybody can literally become a publisher.
Correct.
But that experience, expertise, like anybody could be a photographer, but we still employ professional photographers and filmmakers because that is a certain standard which you can't get by
Correct.
people
You can't just take a photo
flicking
and
with
then
with
exactly.
an iPhone.
Yeah, of course. And what would you say the challenges were with coming up with moving on to this new evolution that we have now?
Well, it's just the fact that people are perhaps unsure of where, I suppose, things like privacy end, and you know, there's a lot of abuse online. You can get, I mean, obviously, luckily, I'm only world famous in Manama, not even in Bahrain. So, but people who are well known, as you know from the recent incidents with British footballers who missed penalties, who are abused terribly online, and that sort of thing is unfair and unwarranted. So, I think that's
so no matter
issue.
what you do anyway online, people will tend to abuse you no
Absolutely.
matter what, because they find it an easy way and an easy platform to do it.
Absolutely.
As well.
Maybe you're speaking from experience.
Yeah. It comes from anything. Like no matter what you do. Yeah. So I can imagine that being a big challenge. How did you deal with it during the beginning of the pandemic?
We had to completely redefine our business and what we were trying to do. I mean, up till that time, we had printed since September 1997 until up to and including April 2020. We'd never stopped publishing one issue of either Bahrain This Month or Woman This Month magazines. All of a sudden, we just couldn't. I mean, people like Starbucks, who used to have magazines, stopped even taking magazines because of the possibility of contagion with
Corona,
with people touching magazines.
Yeah.
So we actually had to slash. Well, we weren't able to print for about 4 or 5 months at that time.
Okay.
So, and then the digital element, it forced us to focus more on digital activities, which was a positive side. There's always a silver lining in every cloud.
Exactly. So there's always a silver lining somewhere. So you went completely because you weren't able to print, it's like, okay, now let's work on the digital and let's move along.
And thank goodness we've done it very successfully, according to many of our clients. So.
Amazing. I mean, of course, you guys are one of the biggest, and like you said, the first in Bahrain, so I'm sure you have a lot of following that are coming from globally and Middle East and Bahrain itself.
It's it's a good, we've been sort of pioneering.
Amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we conclude the segment?
No, just that obviously we've diversified into other areas of activity as well. We represent a company called City and Guilds, which is the largest vocational training company in Europe. We are working with Tamkeen to provide a new initiative to ensure that youngsters who are unemployed or just school leaving age will actually develop skills to be able to give them confidence to practical skills on vocational training. You don't have to be an academic or a doctor, but in Saudi we've trained people who are now people who are relatively uneducated, who were going through a training course that we have with a company called Americana. Within 3 years, they've become area managers for these companies.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Being given skills which allow them to earn probably double what newly qualified doctors in Saudi earn.
Okay.
So they're about 20,000 riyals a month, as opposed to 10,000, which is what the other.
That's amazing. That's a very nice initiative that they've come up with. That's really, like, I want to read about it next. It's really nice.
And we also have a cake company. This is, if anybody can taste a better tasting cake than that, I defy them. In fact, if you use the code word Papa G TV, anybody listening will get 10% off any of these cakes. Yalla cake, Janabir, they're amazing. Okay,
so everybody has to remember, thank you for that. Papa G, you get 10% off.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you for being with us in the studio today.
Thank you very much indeed, Barry. Much appreciated.
Viewers, don't go away, we'll be right back. Viewers, we have reached the end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't forget to send us your feedback via email or on our social media accounts shown below. Goodbye and God bless.